Hi everyone. So Lenin Moreno, president of Ecuador, um, he invited the London Met to go into their embassy in Knightsbridge, as we know, earlier this year, to arrest Julian Assange. What was it, in April? Now, many thought at that time, including me, that Lenin Moreno, the president, and his decision to allow this course of action, to allow the Met to go in and drag him out and drag Julian Assange out, which, by the way, was in direct violation of his own constitution in Ecuador, had something to do with the fact that around the same time as this went on, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, announced $4.2 billion in loans for Ecuador, and other various non-governmental organisations announced further investment of another $6 billion. Now, if you're over here and you're thinking about that and you're thinking, hold on a minute, so Ecuador got $10 billion of investment, then surely that's great, isn't it? Surely the Ecuadorians, well, they'd be happy about that, wouldn't they? Surely 10 billion is a lot of money, after all, especially for, a smaller economy like Ecuador. No, because even at the time, look, there were, just turn the volume down, but even at the time, this is the Ecuadorians protesting against the treatment of Assange when he was dragged out. I can tell you that is far worse than we had down there. There was far more people in the street in Ecuador out protesting the treatment of Assange than there were in the UK. They dwarf the numbers. I was down there. There was nothing like this. Ecuadorians were mad as hell. Mad as hell. And it wasn't just because what happened to Assange and what Moreno allowed the Met to do was in direct violation of their constitution. The people knew what was coming on the back of this investment. Listen to Ecuador's former president, Rafael Correa, explain what it is about the IMF that the South American countries, the Bolivarian countries, just find so toxic about it. Thanks for Maria for tweeting this out. But this is why. Now this is in Spanish, so I'm probably going to actually turn the desktop audio down a little bit, so I can obviously give you what he's saying. And we know by heart the recipe of the International Monetary Fund, its structural adjustments, its packages of measures. In Latin America, we call it paquecitos, eliminating subsidies, lowering wages, mass layoffs, cutting off social benefits. This is what he's saying, what it comes with these IMF loans. This is what comes with the loans. This is what they expect in return, austerity. Infrastructure spending. And then they would lend you the money. So he's saying if you accept all these austerity measures, all these cuts to all those services, then they will lend you money. And then, what good is it? If I can't do anything with the money, I can't do anything with the money. I can do one thing: pay off private debt. And so the debt is liquidated. Countries pass, as they did to us, to owe private financial capital to banks, to owe these multilateral institutions, and that does not solve anything. Only profits for private financial capital was guaranteed. Exactly the same is happening in Greece, and go to see who were the banks that lent the money to Greece. They don't think of people, dear companions. We know by heart they only think of regaining financial capital. That is why Ecuadorians were in the street about Assange. That was why. Because they knew what come with it. They knew that now, he's done that and he's only done it to get the investment. This is from The Guardian. Ecuador, indigenous protesters paralyse roads on fifth day of anti-austerity rest. They're in the streets. They're blocking roads. Blocking roads because now those austerity measures have come. Correa knew that when it comes to the IMF and capital from Western NGOs, it means that you have to accept these austerity measures. And it means that they only care about, their capital investment. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about the people. It's about extracting the wealth. And like night follows day, Ecuador's austerity measures have now kicked in. And after taking their loans from the IMF, the people aren't happy about it one bit. They're in the streets and they're blocking roads. This was just, when was this from? October the 3rd, so this is just a few days ago. And they're just going, the people are going on, they're trying to block road after road after road, and they're causing chaos over there. There's plenty of videos like this. Right, here's the government of Ecuador announces a state of exception for 60 days following violence on the streets and a massive transportation strike. This is the price that Ecuador are now paying. This is the backlash from the people at these austerity measures. Austerity measures that are having to be implemented because Ecuador took loans from the IMF and the NGOs on the back of them allowing the Met to go in and drag Assange out of the embassy in an act of fashion. This is the latest one. This is from Nanutsi, who posted some great stuff. School bus drivers in Quito now on strike and have joined mobilisations against IMF austerity. Chants Lenin Moreno, hypocrite and traitor. The people reject you in all of Ecuador. This is what's really going on in the world, people. This is what's really going on in the world. This is what's really important. This is the stuff that they're doing behind your back. This is the stuff that's happening while our media going, look at Brexit. Look at this. Look at Brexit over here.